This is Jenny Naslund, and in this video we'll be talking about Google Sheets. To create a new Google Sheet, you'll click on New and you will select Google Sheets. Once the Google Sheet loads, one of the first things you're going to want to do is name your sheet, just so that you can easily find it again once it's labeled. And then you can start inserting your data. You would just type your data. I actually have some saved data that I'm just going to paste in here. And you can customize what your sheet looks like. You can change the alignment if you wanted to, so you can make things come to the center or to the left or to the right if you chose to. You can change the color of the text here if you wanted to change the color of the text. You can make things italic or bold, change the size of the text. You could change the style of the text as well. There are also some more options of things you can do down here. If you wanted to link something, you could do that. And we'll talk more about this functions button later on, but it'll allow us to add and analyze our data a little bit. Another feature that people like to use is this little borders button. You can add borders to your information if you'd like to. So that's some of the customized formats you can do. Other things you can do is you can insert columns and rows. Let's say I want to add last names to my data here. If I do a right click, I can insert a column to the left or to the right, and I would be able to start adding in last names. If I decided I didn't want that, I could right click on it and I could say delete column, and that would allow me to delete it. I can do the same thing with rows. Let's say I want to add another student in. I could click and I could say insert above, or I could delete a whole row or insert below. So that way you can manipulate your data without having to move all of your data around. Some of the other things that you can do with that functions button is I can actually figure out the sum. I can use it to do some basic math for me. So if I click here and hit sum, it'll come up with the sum, and then I select the cells that I want it to calculate. So I want it to calculate from B2, just like the game Battleship here, B2 through B6, and I hit enter, and it would sum that data for me. I can also do an average, and I could highlight that information and then hit enter, and it would give me the average of that information as well. So that's a pretty powerful feature if you have lots of data that you need to analyze. Other things that you can do is you can add multiple sheets. Let's say that this sheet, if I just do a double click here, let me name it. This is my first period. And let's say I have another quiz for my next period. If I said add sheet, I could insert my data for my second period here. So you could basically have multiple spreadsheets all stored in one, and you could flip between data and compare data that way. If you'd want to share your sheet, we would come up here to the share button. And again, when we go to share anything in Google Drive, you just start typing their email address until it pops up. You could add a message, and then you could send your information. You can give them rights to edit, to comment, or to view your Google Sheet. When you're done with your sheet, if you wanted to print, you could click on the print button here, or you could go to File, Print, and you'd be able to print your sheet. You can also download your sheet if you'd want to. I could download it. I could put it into a Microsoft Excel document or as a PDF. So there's lots of different options on how you can download your Google Sheet. That concludes our tutorial of Google Sheets.